Good morning, dear students. Today we will study about literature. What is literature? Literature is the mirror of society. What we find in society, that finds reflection in literature. If we talk about ancient days, we can find ancient literature. If we want medieval age, we can find medieval literature. If we find about modern age, we can find modern literature. It means literature reflects the society. And literature has mainly four parts: poetry, drama, prose, and fiction. Today, we will talk about poetry. I am going to describe two great poems, two very renowned poems, but short poems penned by Robert Frost. Robert Frost is actually an American poet and is only one American poet who got 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. Robert Frost was born in 1874, died in 1963. Is known as nature poet in American literature. As we find nature poet in English literature, that is William Wordsworth. As we find nature poet in Hindi literature, and he is Subramanian Bhatt. So many poets we have in our mind. But today we will be studying about 2 poems, that is Dust of Snow and Fire and Ice. 2 very short poems penned by Robert Frost. Before I start the poems, let us think about what is a poem? What is actually poetry? According to my opinion, I have studied also so many definitions I have gone through and I have found. So I have developed, I have crafted a definition, and that definition is poetry is the musical composition. Poetry is the musical composition which has at least 4 traits, 4 characteristics. First, rhyme; second, rhythm; third, rhyme scheme; and fourth, music. Rhyme, rhythm, rhyme scheme, and music. So poetry is a musical composition which has rhyme, rhythm, rhyme scheme, and music. But there are few poems also. Few poems we can find, or in the modern age, many poems we can find, where we can find free verse, where we don't find any rhyme and any rhythm, any rhyme scheme or any meter. Means without rhyme scheme and without meter, that verse is known as free verse. Elizabethan poets used a different type of verse for the first time, and that poetry was known as blank verse. Blank verse is a kind of verse, a poem, in which we find no rhyme scheme but meter. It means meter was found, but rhyme scheme was not found. So it was blank verse, and free verse, no rhyme scheme and no meter. Both are missing here in the free verse. But as far as many poets are concerned, what's their thinking about the poem? Let's talk about. They have given a lot of definitions, different poets. I will talk about few famous poets. First, I will talk about S.T. Coleridge, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, who was born in 1772, died in 1834. He defines poetry as poetry is the best story in best words. After that, I will talk about another famous romantic poet, that is Percy Bysshe Shelley. Percy Bysshe Shelley, you might be knowing, is also known as romantic poet, who was born in 1792, died in 1822. After that, we comes to Matthew Arnold, great Victorian poet. Matthew Arnold is known as pessimistic poet. The note of pessimism is reflected in his poems. He defines poetry is the criticism of life. Poetry is the criticism of life. It means what is good and what is bad in life. That finds reflection in poetry. After that, we can talk about another renowned poet, none other than William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth, nature poet in English literature, defines poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. It takes its origin from emotions recollected in tranquility. William Wordsworth, as I told, was a nature poet, was born in 1770, died in 1850. He is known as priest of nature. Very famous critic, D. Quincy, called him, declared him, he was priest of nature because he worshipped nature. The poems like Tinton and Bay, Prelude, List Gatherer, The World is Too Much With Us, so many poems you find, Lucy poems, The Solitary Reaper, numerous poems are there. They are the proof that why he is called priest of nature. And after that, William Wordsworth's definition of poetry. Another great poet is there in front of us, and the poet is Thomas Stiens Eliot, modern poet. Thomas Stiens Eliot was a poet and playwright both. He was a critic also. He was an essayist also. He was a versatile genius. Thomas Stiens Eliot was born in 1888, died in 1965. He has defined poetry as poetry is not a deluge of emotion, it is an escape from emotion. It is not the expression of personality, but it is an escape from personality. So, he has given the theory of escapism, theory of impersonality, in his definition of poetry. After that, now we will talk about Robert Frost, American poet, whose two poems we are going to describe here, Dust of Snow and Fire and Ice. As I told, William Wordsworth was also known as nature poet in English literature. Robert Frost is known as nature poet in American literature, and Sumitra Nandan Pant is known as nature poet in Hindi literature. Robert Frost, as I told, he was born in 1863, died in 1974. Robert Frost's poems reflect nature in various terms. He gives motivation also. His very famous poem, The Gift of Right, when he had composed that poem became so popular in American history that American President John F. Kennedy himself called him to recite the poem in front of whole the world. He addressed a great assembly. If we talk about Robert Frost, how can you forget the world famous lines, "The woods are lovely, dark and deep," from the poem Stopping by Woods. Stopping by Woods, I am referring to the lines. "The woods are lovely, dark and deep. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. But I have promises to keep. But I have promises to keep. The miles to go before I sleep. The miles to go before I sleep." Such motivational lines. That he is unstoppable. He is unparalleled. He is inimitable personality. He is not going to be stopped by anyone. He will continue the journey. In the same manner, we find is another poem, that is The Road Not Taken. The Road Not Taken, the poem also proves him a totally different poet from others, because he has proved in that poem that after a lot of meditation, after a lot of struggles, finally he got success in his life. He had taken risk, he had faced adventures, then he became successful. And he had to take option also, as you find the first line of the poem, two roads diverge in a road. Here he has used fantastic use of metaphor, figure of speech. Two roads diverge in a road. Two ambitions. We are in a panic situation. We are left in the lurch. What should we opt? So such great intellectual thought he has presented in his poems. Jawaharlal Nehru, our former Prime Minister, when he died, only one poem was left written on the paper on his table. And when it was found, it was written, it was none other than Stopping by Woods. This poem was there. And the lines were saying, the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, the miles to go before I sleep, the miles to go before I sleep. Such great poet we are going to study here. And we have two poems, Dust of Snow and Fire and Ice. Let's start. The first poem here, Dust of Snow. The way a crow shoot down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Here we find in this stanza, first four lines, that the poet has used literary device that is known as enjambment. Enjambment, the literary device where you don't find any type of punctuation marks, lines are continuous, reference is the same. We find here that the way a crow shoot down on me, poet is saying that poet was not in a very good mood. And he was going through somewhere, place is not mentioned in the poem. But he noticed that when he was going through the place, there was a crow sitting in the tree, on the branches of the tree. It just, it had shaken. Might be possible few branches, might be possible few leaves, but somehow particle of dust, snow that fell on the poet, and he found himself in a very meditative mood. That what should he do now? He has, the way a crow shoot down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. It is just a description going on that a crow who was sitting on the branch of the tree had shaken the branch or the leaves, and then dust of snow that fell on the poet, might be on shoulder, might be on head, might be any part of the body, and then he started thinking, has given my heart, second stanza, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had lived. Had given his heart, what it has given the heart? A change of mood. And he's saying that his day was going to be wasted at that time. But this happening had saved his life. As Robert Frost is an optimistic poet, he did never think about that it is hemlock tree, it is a crow. Both are known for negative references. Both can destroy his day. It's not good for him. He never thought about that. He's a personality from head to toe, an optimistic poet. That's why he thought only about his attitude. That is totally positive, totally optimistic. So he had gone for that thinking. thought that this activity has made my day successful. And now my day is not going to be a matter of regret for me. My day is not going to be wasted as I have taken a lot of enjoyment through this activity. If it had not happened, my day would have been wasted. This reference he has given. The rhyme scheme of the poem we find AB, AB, CD, AB, AB, and CD, CD. We find here 8 lines are there. So the first line is rhyming with the second line, third line is rhyming with the first line is rhyming with the third line, second line is rhyming with the fourth line, and the second stanza that the fourth line is rhyming with the sixth line, and seventh line and fifth line is rhyming with the eighth line. So this is happening here in this poem, Dust of Snow. So after all, what type of poem it is, I'm just going to end it. I'm going to just summarize it in a nutshell that the poet was going through somewhere. Suddenly, he found that when he was going through the way of that, just beside the way there might be a hammer tree. There was hammer tree, and on the branches of the tree there was a crow there, and he had shaken the branches, the leaves, and dust of snow that fell on him, and he started thinking about it. That okay, it's a very good for him. He never thought about that hammer tree is very negative thing. It has the negative reference, or the crow itself also known as a negative reference. But he never thought about that, as he is very optimistic, he is an adventurous poet. He took it very simple. He thought that I am a poet. I have to I have to take it very positively, and that's why he thought that might be possible they had given an opportunity for me to write something on it, and I'm just going to compose a poem, and he has written this poem. That's why we are reading here, and that's why as a poet he has thought it, he has taken it very positively, and that's why Dust of Snow basically talks about his note of optimism that whatever happens in your life, that happens for a good reason. Thank you. Now the second poem, Fire and Ice. Second poem, Fire and Ice. Here in this poem, we find that there is a speculation, there is a prediction. There are many predictions for the end of the world. It is also included in the list. And Robert Frost, in the poem Fire and Ice, delivers a lecture that how through the poem, delivers a lecture through the poem that how the world is going to have an end. And he accepts that the world is going to have an end through two things, fire and ice. Fire is actually synonymous with our desires, and ice is synonymous with hatred. He starts the line like, some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. It means few people say that the world will have an end and the reason will be fire, and some say in ice, and some are of the view that the world will have an end because of ice. From what I have tested of desire, and he is saying that he has thought a lot about it, and I hold with those who favor fire. It means the poet is saying that the poet favors the people who have given the opinion that fire will be the reason that we will have an end of the world. It means he favors fire. Yes, fire will be there. It means our desires will be there, that due to our desires, the world is going to have an end. It means we must control our emotions. Otherwise, we will be facing the end of this world. The second stanza, he has described that the 5 lines, that is the 5-line stanza. The first was 4-line stanza. First is quatrain. We must know the stanza pattern also. 2-line stanza we know very well. That is couplet. 3-line stanza triplet. 4-line stanza quatrain. 6-line stanza sestet, and 8-line stanza octave. Here the first 4-line stanza we find that is quatrain. He is talking about. Now the second stanza. But if it had to perish twice. But he is thinking if the world will have an end 2 times, what will be happen? That what will be happening? I think I know enough of it to say that for destruction, ice is also great and will suffice. He is saying that he will never favor the fact that the world will have a destruction by ice. It's also great. Few people say ice will be also a kind of reason that world will have an end, but he doesn't favor ice. He's saying that people say that it would suffice, it would be great, that it would be great because it would be great, that opinion will be great when the ice will have an end of the world, but it is not so. The poet favors it. Poet doesn't favor that the world will have an end because due to hatred, due to ice, but the poet favors that the world will have an end due to a disaster, due to fire. That is total all about. Let us summarize this poem also in a nutshell. Here in this poem, Fire and Ice, the poet calculates the reasons for the end of the world. Two reasons he finds. As many people also had given their perceptions earlier, he had also given his opinion that two reasons are there, fire and ice both. Now, fire, he talks about desires, that although desire, it is given in the third line of the poem, that from what I have tested of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. It means he has given the opinion that the people who say that, who give their opinion that the world will have an end due to fire, they are absolutely right. I also favor the same thing. But I don't favor, he's saying in the second stanza, he doesn't favor that people of the opinion also say that I means hatred will also be the reason to have an end of the world. That is not true. That will never sufficient, according to the poet. People say it will be sufficient. No. According to the poet, ice will never be sufficient. It means hatred will not be the reason to have an end of the world. It will be only desire, it means fire, that will be the reason to have an end of the world. Literary devices in the poem, let's talk about. That rhyme scheme we find in the poem. Rhyme scheme is irregular rhyme scheme we find in this poem. Rhyme scheme of the 9 lines we find here. A, B, A, B, C, and B, C, D. A, B, A, A, B, C, B, C, B, C, B. This is the rhyme scheme. We find now the other literary devices here, that the first two lines we find that the same word has been repeated without a punctuation here, and here the second line we find a full stop. Some say the word will end in fire, some say in ice. That's why the same idea is there. We find same expression is there. That's why we find here anaphora here in these two lines. After that, we find in the fourth line, I hold with those who favor fire. Here we find that there is the loud sound of vowel sound, that is O, hold, toast. That's why here we find a literary device assonance. After that, we find here favor fire in the first stanza, fourth line, favor fire, last two words, favor fire, the repetition of the consonant sound. We find alliteration, figure of speech. Another example that we find the first line of the first stanza, world well. Here also we find the repetition of the same consonant sound, that is the that world well, alliteration, figure of speech we find. In this way, I have tried myself to the best level to have a summary of of snow and fire and ice, both the poems. So these two poems are really very inspiring, really very motivational. Motivational in the sense that we can have a lot of views regarding first optimism and second the end of the world. That we must know both the reasons. That as we have the optimism in our life, we are optimistic in the life, all the problems are solved itself. It means our attitude matters a lot. And second, fire and ice, if we have to think about the end of the world, there are so many scientific reasons also, but literary reasons he has given. He has given literary reasons also. That will be fire, will be main reason. It will not be ice, which can have the end of the world. It will be fire. It means our desires, our lust will be the region that we will have an end of the world. That's why we must control our emotions. We can never flow with our emotions in the wrong direction. Thank you.